You'd think you know so much about Cristiano Ronaldo until you hear about these 10 shocking moments in his life that were absolutely unbelievable. Number 1. McDonald's rescue.
So we had a McDonald's next to the stadium where we live, and we always go to the back door and we knock the door. Hey, any burgers left? And Edna and 2 more girls, which they are unbelievable.
Can you imagine being just a 12-year-old kid, moving to a city far away from home with no family around you and barely enough money to survive? That was Ronaldo's life when he joined the Sporting Lisbon Youth Academy. He and his young teammates were so desperate that they would slip out of the academy to the back door of a McDonald's near the stadium. There, 3 women working the night shift noticed the skinny boys waiting quietly and passed out leftover burgers, small acts of generosity that helped those kids get through nights that would have otherwise been unbearable. Years later, Ronaldo had everything he once lacked, yet he never forgot. He searched for those women until he found Edna, and when he did, he gave her ownership of the biggest restaurant in Portugal. From sneaking for scraps of food to gifting entire restaurants, Ronaldo showed that gratitude remained at the heart of his incredible journey. Number 2. Tears on live TV.
Guarda-costas que ele tem. Bem, é verdade, é guarda-costas que ele tem. Sim, sim.
Tenho luz da câmara a ver,
Very emotional for you.
I never saw the video.
Ronaldo is usually seen as unshakable, a man of iron will, someone who thrives under pressure. But there was a moment when the armor cracked and the world saw the fragile human underneath. During a televised interview, Ronaldo broke down in tears. The cameras caught him reliving the pain of his childhood, the separation from his family, the hunger, the loneliness, and the massive responsibility he carried at such a young age. I mean, being a teenager and feeling like the entire future of your family rests on your shoulders. That kind of pressure can crush most people, yet Ronaldo endured it. When he cried on live television, fans across the world realized that behind the confident superstar was a boy who had fought against overwhelming odds. That moment was deeply emotional, not because it showed weakness, but because it showed the kind of emotional weight he carried, a weight that made his success even more extraordinary. Number 3. Armband saved a kid's life.
Cristiano Ronaldo has thrown the captain's armband.
The armband was picked up by a stadium worker and is now being sold to help pay for the treatment of a 6-month-old baby with spinal problems.
Sometimes greatness is not measured by goals, but by gestures. In one unforgettable moment, Ronaldo threw his captain's armband away in frustration after a match. To him, it was nothing, just a piece of cloth. But for one family, it became the key to saving their child. The armband was picked up and later auctioned. The money raised, which was around $75,000, went directly into funding life-saving treatment for a baby suffering from a rare disease. One casual flick of his hand had turned into a miracle for someone else. When you think about it, you realize how insane such a regular symbol of leadership from the pitch transformed into actual hope, into real life itself. That is the power of Ronaldo's reach, and that is what makes this moment truly inspiring. Number 4. Rocket legs.
Ronaldo to think about it. Oh! Absolutely sensational! He went through Almunia, beaten for pace.
Scientists have studied Ronaldo's body like he were some kind of superhuman, and the results they found are jaw-dropping. When Ronaldo strikes the ball, the power generated by his legs has been compared to the force of a rocket launch. So, imagine standing in front of a football that is flying at over 130 kilometers per hour, powered by muscles that move faster and stronger than most athletes on the planet. His leap has been measured to rival that of professional basketball players. His stamina is nearly unmatched, and his speed defies logic for someone of his size and age. This is not just a football player. This is a machine built for dominance. People often joke about him being from another planet, But when scientists compare your body to a rocket, it is not a joke anymore. Number 5. Private airport in Madeira.
Madeira has renamed its airport in honor of Cristiano Ronaldo. The island in the Atlantic Ocean is where Ronaldo grew up.
Not many people can say they have an airport in their honor, but Ronaldo can. On his home island of Madeira, his success has been immortalized in concrete and steel. The airport there, which once struggled with outdated facilities, was upgraded and expanded with Ronaldo's help. He poured resources and influence into making it happen. The result was not just an airport, but a hub that brought more tourism, more jobs, and more growth to his community. Imagine flying into an island and landing at a place that carries the name and legacy of one of its sons. It is not just an airport, it is a statement that says, "We came from humble beginnings, and look how far we have come." For Ronaldo, it was not about ego. It was about giving back to the place that gave him everything. Number 6. From sweeping streets to stardom. It is almost impossible to connect the image of Cristiano Ronaldo with a broom in his hands, yet as a boy, that was part of his reality. Long before the world knew his name, before the trophies and flashing cameras, he took on small jobs to support his family. One of those jobs was sweeping the streets, a task far removed from the glory of packed stadiums and roaring crowds. What stands out in that chapter of his life is not the job itself, but the attitude behind it. He never shied away from work, no matter how tough or unglamorous it was. That willingness to do whatever was needed became a part of him. The same drive that pushed him to sweep the streets pushed him to train longer, run harder, and give more than others were willing to give. That foundation of grit helped transform a struggling boy into a global icon. Number 7. Ronaldo's rare Bugatti car collection.
After bagging 4 goals in 2 games to help Portugal to move top of Euro 2024 Group J qualifiers, Cristiano Ronaldo pulled out his mega-rare $10.89 million Bugatti 110 from the garage for a night out with friends in Madrid on Tuesday evening.
Of course, not every unbelievable story from Cristiano Ronaldo's life comes from hardship. Some come from the rewards that followed years of relentless effort. His car collection has become legendary, filled with some of the most expensive and exclusive vehicles in the world. Yet one car stands out above the rest. Among his fleet sits a Bugatti so rare that only a handful of people across the globe can say they own one. It is a masterpiece of engineering and luxury, carrying a price tag of several million. What makes it even more striking is the contrast with where he began. Ronaldo grew up in a modest home on the island of Madeira, sharing a small room with his siblings and living with little comfort. To go from that environment to sitting behind the wheel of one of the rarest machines ever built feels almost unreal. But to him, the cars represent what is possible when natural talent is sharpened by endless discipline and determination. Each time the engine roars, it becomes a symbol of how far he has come. The boy who once helped sweep streets now drives vehicles that only kings and collectors dream of owning. Number 8. Meeting his biggest fan.
Who became viral in 2022 for his videos on TikTok and Instagram. He has always been a huge fan of Ronaldo.
One day, Ronaldo gave his biggest fan the shock of a lifetime by showing up unexpectedly. Without any warning, he showed up in person, standing face-to-face with someone who had admired him for years. The fan was stunned, unable to believe that the man they had watched on television and idolized from afar was now right in front of them. What made this moment truly special was not the shock of seeing a global superstar, but the way Ronaldo responded. He smiled, laughed, hugged, and spoke with a warmth that instantly put the fan at ease. It was not about fame or status. It was about connection. That short exchange captured on camera spread like wildfire across social media, not because of Ronaldo's celebrity, but because of how genuine and human he appeared. For a man constantly surrounded by cameras, bodyguards, and the endless demands of being one of the most famous athletes in the world, he still managed to pause and give his fan an unforgettable memory. That small act revealed his humility and made the moment unforgettable. Number 9. Leaving home at age 12. At 12 years old, while most kids were still wrapped up in school, games, and friendships, Cristiano Ronaldo was already stepping into a world that demanded far more from him. He left behind his family in Madeira and traveled alone to Lisbon, a city that felt overwhelming and unfamiliar. There was no comfort waiting for him, no familiar faces to ease the loneliness. He had to take care of himself in every way, keeping his focus on relentless training sessions that pushed him to the limit. Life at the academy was far from easy. The distance from home was crushing, and the reality of being on his own weighed heavily. Yet Ronaldo endured it all, driven by a determination that was already rare for someone his age. Every lonely meal, every exhausting practice, and every moment of homesickness built the resilience that would carry him through the rest of his career. Number 10. Dreams in a cramped bedroom. And finally, the most unbelievable part of Ronaldo's story is how it all began. Born into poverty, he shared a small, cramped bedroom with his siblings. There was no luxury, no privacy, just a family packed into a modest house on a tiny island. From that room, he dreamed bigger than his surroundings. He imagined stadiums, trophies, and moments that seemed impossible for a child living in such conditions. Yet, he believed. And because he believed, he worked. And because he worked, the world would one day know his name. From that shared bedroom to mansions and palaces, Ronaldo's story is proof that dreams can grow even in the smallest spaces. Cristiano Ronaldo's life is packed with stories that honestly sound too wild to be true. But every single one of them shows that greatness is never something that just appears overnight. It comes from pushing through hunger, tough times, sacrifices, and never forgetting the people who helped along the way. Ronaldo might be one of the best footballers the world has ever seen, but his story goes way beyond goals and trophies. He is proof that no matter how impossible your dreams feel, they can happen if you refuse to give up. And it's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. Which of these Ronaldo moments was the most unbelievable for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next episode.